show today how much winning a major means to him. For Brad Angelo, big struggles on TV. Hasn't won a title yet. From just outside Buffalo, second ever major TV show for Brad Angelo underway. And that's a light hit. Look out. Not what he wanted to start the day here, Randy, the 1-2.
Yeah, we're going to call that the slide and glide this week. You get it too far right, and it hits a big old patch down the lane. And there's beautiful Michelle, Brad's wife.
Making a trip from saying hi to the kids at home. It was not easy to leave Dylan and Brielle. They're watching with Grandma and Grandpa in Lockport at the Angelo's new home. And Mom tells us to tell the kids she'll be home soon. Don't worry. Brad covers nicely and has a mark.
Brad wore the same shirt all throughout match play. He went 7 games with Chris Barnes, 7 games with me, 7 games with Tommy Jones. And in his last match against Mike Machuga, he beats Mike Machuga in game 5, 289-280. Thought about wearing that same shirt today.
As always, Tracy is here to root on Pete, who has a 10-pin for his first shot of the day.
All right.
Second out of qualifying, got himself to the round of Super 16 because of it. Brilliant career. Pete Weber continues. Able to win Hammond, Indiana. He is exempt, coming back from what was a very difficult year for him with the passing of his father, Dick. Ace Hardware matchup. Well, Pete Weber with all those career titles, 32 of them. Brad looks for his first ever. Who rises to the top today?
Pete's got all the major championship experience. Brad's never won. Advantage has to go to Pete Weber, but Brad's got something to say about that. Brad was awfully tough this week.
Fourth on the all-time list in career wins. 32 victories for W. Crunches all 10 down into the pit. Pete tries for his 8th career major title today. That would tie Earl Anthony's record. Of course, Walter Ray goes for number 41 career victory later on today in the second semifinal with Ryan Schaefer. If he can get through Ryan and the winner of this match, he wins his 41st and ties Earl Anthony's mark. Brad looks for some history too. Better shot.
You saw that graphic. Brad trying to become the 18th player to win a major as his first title. Last person to do that, Brian Smith, a couple of years back, he won the Masters.
2003 in Reno for Brian Smith out of Oregon. Bowlers like Robert Smith, Mika Koivuniemen, Rick Steele-Smith have also had their first title be a major. Hence, Major Mika, his first 2 were major championships.
Walter Ray was on that show that Brian Smith won.
Angelo, very deliberate approach to the foul line. Ringing 10 for Brad Angelo. What are your thoughts on his approach, how slowly he gets himself to the line?
Well, it works for him, you know. It's all about being in sync and repeating. And Brad has that little stutter step. You see the 6 goes around the 10. We like to call that the ringing 10, as opposed to the 6-pin laying in the gutter. That'd be a weak 10.
Not great numbers on the single pin conversions. It's pretty rare to see that many misses, but a lot of games, of course, bowled here. 50 plus for some to get through all the rounds of qualifying we documented for you at the top of the broadcast.
Yeah, but keep in mind, though, that sometimes a player is beaten in a match or he has won the match. In the 10th frame, his fill shot, he leaves a ringing 10. Instead of shooting it, he tries a different ball and different strike line to give himself another look as the matches progress.
Pete's got a lot of family and friends here today.
Wow.
Last late help, 4-7 down and a strike for PDW. He looks for a 33rd career title. So his road. The TV show, second qualifying with a great 223 plus average. So that put him into the Super 16 round as we talked about. There's also a round of 16. That's where Randy lost to Brad Angelo in 7. A lot of bowling for these guys to get this far.
A lot of bowling. A lot of sore hands this week.
And Pete said his fingers feel great. See that white glove he uses, but the thumb is very sore. Not protected by the glove. And a big strike. Pete loves it.
And that's just what you want to do to a guy who's never won before. You see the flawless form of Pete Weber In my opinion, I don't think I've ever seen a better talent physically to ever throw a bowling ball in the PBA Tour. Just phenomenal game. It just looks effortless. His release, the rotation he can put on the bowling ball. I like to call it efficiency of motion.
So smooth, isn't it?
It is.
Textbook delivery. Angelo tries to answer the turkey from Pete, and he has another strike. 36-year-old from just outside Buffalo, 10th in the PBA rankings this year, and helped himself up the ranking ladder. Some nice points accumulated by Brad with a good event here. Round of Super 16 knocked out Tommy Jones in 7 after Barnes and our Randy Peterson went down in 7 games. Mike Machuga, good match, although it was 5, and big comeback earlier for Angelo.
Yeah, I mean, look at that list. There's no slouches there, except for me.
Come on now.
I gave him all he wanted.
Looks for the double. Good frame.
Look out. Whoa!
Need help? We'll have it.
Well, Pete got one. Brad said right back at you. I get a trip for myself. See how deep Brad Angelo is already playing this pattern, and that's what we did this week. As the lanes broke down, we started really straight at about second arrow. I think Brad wants that trip for. Oh, yeah. I'm still in this. Started pretty straight around second arrow, and then just migrated left from there. Walter Ray, on the other hand, found a way to stay pretty straight from that second arrow.
Chance for a 20-pin lead. 4-bagger, 5th frame for Pete. He's got to hurry. Double wood left.
I threw that ball pretty good.
He liked it. Where you could see the back end of the 41-foot pattern when it grabbed the
This is ought to be fun.
resistance there. Didn't quite jet into the 1-3 pocket as he had hoped.
And when he says this ought to be fun, he's referring to attempting to make the 2-8.
Multi-pin numbers perfect so far. Does cover. Just wants to stay clean, doesn't he?
50.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Pete does the next time he's up on the right lane, because when a player throws the ball and he thinks it's really, really good and it goes 2-8, that could really mess you up the next time you're over on that lane. The tendency is to grab it and try to make it hook more into the pocket. And when you do that, you run the risk of splitting.
6th frame for Pete. Has all 10 down. 60 feet to success. Pete Weber, who told us before the match today that yes, he's won the 2 majors, as he and Erica discussed. He's also won 3 regional titles in this house. Very familiar with Woodland Bowl. And as you can see, feeling pretty confident. First semifinal, 2006 Denny's World Championship underway from Indy. More on the way.